All right, y'all, what it do? Your boy is back on the grind one more time. Your boy is back at it again, man. And I'm gonna try to make this video somewhat quick, or at least my intro, because I don't have much storage on my phone. I gotta clean out my phone. And I also, as always, crunch for time. So, but I got an extra hour, and because one of my clients have canceled, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to work them in later on in the day just because of classes and my schedule and whatnot. So now this freed up my time. So now I'm going to spend that time working on her vehicle. So anytime I can get on this is clutch. But what I'm going to do right now is actually kind of show you what has been going on, which has just been cleaning. Every video pretty much that I've showed you so far has just been me cleaning the front. It has been a mess, but we are making progress still, actually a lot of progress. So it's all cleaned up for the most part, and I just need a little bit of kind of fine tuning on it. I gotta be able to roll it out. I'm gonna do one final degrease on it so I can pressure wash it and then be done with it. And then after that, I can paint and do all I need to do with it. But today I'm actually going to start kind of disassembling the rear end. So I'm going to make sure like the brake lines are off. There's no emergency cable hooked up. Take off the drive line off the rear end and whatnot. So that way I can go ahead and lower this down. Also too, what I'll probably do in this video is actually show you guys some clips and things from my buddy Matt when he came over. I kind of just filmed some things and just recorded our conversation and whatnot, because we are trying to build a game plan on how to attack that steering box on the frame and then the part that's damaged on there. So he seems to think that it's fixable, so which is good, and by the time we're done it'll be far stronger than what it was. So that is a plus. So it's going to require me to do some prep work in order to get it done, so that way they can come here, his buddy can bring his welder in and just pretty much just go to town on it and not have to do anything else, and then we can go from there. So
I'm gonna
record this.
cross member is holding it in right there on the top, and then I see this how it's pulling away right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what I think, looking at this again, I think what we need to do is, I think if we can get you to cut these out, remove this piece, right? And so we'll have this out of the way. I think what we need to do is basically fish plate this thing.
Okay.
And I think it'd be best from the inside.
Yep.
We'll measure this, and we're gonna put a piece of metal inside here, all the way down through there. And then what we're gonna do is drill through that. So we'll end up putting that in here, weld it in, and then drill through these holes.
Okay.
This is gonna be kind of tough on
you
this
have to
spot
do it,
right
You
here.
have to do it from the backside, probably, huh?
We'll have to do it from the backside, which is fine. Won't have to do it from the backside.
What I can do, would it be better to like trace where it's at now?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay. So if we can get this out of the way, right? So how do you cut these out?
Yeah.
Pull all this nonsense out. Get this kind of out of the way. Then we'll put the new piece of metal in there, and then we'll mark the holes. Once we get the piece, so basically we'll cut a piece that's pretty damn close.
Yep.
And then we'll put it in there, and we'll keep trimming it and grind it, trimming it and grind it over here, so we can fit it up in there so it'll follow this contour, because we want it to start about here.
Yeah.
Go all the way back past there. Mark it with a marker through, and I think that should be a big problem solver, because we're going to put it on the inside, so this can still fit flush on here.
Yeah.
And then when we put it on the inside, we're going to have Tyler weld it in probably, inch section, inch section, inch section, basically have him weld it all the way around inside there. So that way, that hole right there,
Yeah.
maybe what we'll do is we'll get another piece of metal and like stack it. Because the metal that we put in there is going to be the same thickness as the frame.
Okay.
So we'll put another piece of metal kind of floating in there, basically as a spacer
Gotcha.
in that gap. And we can trim that out when we have all this out, because we're probably going to have to trim it from the other side, if that makes sense, to kind of window that out a little bit more smooth, so we can make our own nice little plate.
Gotcha.
So when we put the new piece in there, we'll have the other piece sitting on top of it right there, tack weld it all together, and then put this back on, bolt it through
Okay.
to solve that. Because, that's the biggest concern that we have on this thing, right? The other side, there wasn't
This
an
side
issue.
was, it looked great.
But let's go to the other side and
looked
look
at
at that from that side. You're like 15 minutes older than me over here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay.
You see it? You can see it now, yeah?
Yeah, so just to kind of go over it again. So
Yeah.
basically we got one mount right there. You see where I'm shining?
Yeah.
That one is the one that's pulled away from the frame.
Right.
So if we can just basically cut a piece of metal to fill that void, we're going to cut out any of the bullshit. And I think, I see what you were talking about with that fucking expansion foam right there.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think with that piece right there removed, that little scrap bullshit hanging on, and since this cross member goes all the way across to tie the frame in from here over to there, I don't think it's a concern. Unless when you're cleaning that up, if you see something on the top of the frame and you go, oh shit, Matt, it's cracked or something.
Yeah.
I think putting a plate essentially from right there to right there,
Yep.
weld in any spot that we can.
Okay.
Is that fucked up right there too? That's a hole right there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least we're going.
you're
over
going
all
past
that.
it, right?
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
past that anyway.
Yeah.
So basically, we just need to pull those away. So we'll
Okay.
just unbolt those because we'll just be putting the plate right behind it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But
So what do you do with the cracks? You fill those in first?
so where the cracks are, we're gonna drill.
Okay.
You just drill the end of the crack so it stops cracking.
Yeah.
Right. But then when we put the piece of metal over that, right? So we'll grind all this down nice, as clean as we can. Just, I want you to clean that up. Just get all that bullshit out of there. And then when we put the new piece in, that new piece is going to be welded tight in. So we're going to have probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 8 to 10 inch and a half long welds.
Okay.
All the way around that plate. And then that spot right there where that window is, wherever the cracks are around that spot and around that spot, we'll drill the end of it.
Yep.
And that essentially that stops that from cracking anymore in the future. I don't think it's ever going to crack again or continue to crack even with the plate, but we're still going to drill the holes to make it, in
Okay.
theory, stop cracking.
Yep. Yep.
But then we'll have that plate in support. And then that, once again, that window right there will have a smaller piece of plate welded to the one that's going the whole piece.
Yep.
And then we'll mark it, drill the hole, drill the hole, drill the hole, drill the hole, and mount that fucker back in the same spot. Because at least this way we have at least 2 points of reference that are really good to triangulate that fucking bracket.
Yep. Yep.
So, I mean, I'm making it sound a lot easier than it is.
Yeah.
But let's not make it harder than it has to be.
Yep. Okay.
There's mud work that they did something. And, who knows? Cars live interesting lives. Especially
Yeah.
when they're this old.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know the doors. The doors are newer doors
Yeah.
because they capped them.
So if they were to leave it,
Right here too.
leave this, you just technically just leave it, like kind of raw like that, or is there like something?
Nah, there's rubber caps right here, and there's a gasket.
Oh, is there?
He sells all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And that's the sad part about this right here, how they did this. There's a little fiberglass cap they make. It goes right over that.
Oh, right over there.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Because it
I mean,
might give you problems in the future.
Yeah.
But like this right here, mine, I cut them down. They
Gotcha.
left them raw, so that's why it stands up a little bit.
Gotcha.
Because these are newer door panels in 73 through 5.
Oh, okay.
But that's the stuff that
I
guys
mean-
like you and me are going to notice.
Yeah.
Like this right here, I'd buy the caps and the rubber gasket. And just, you're done.
Yeah.
And, don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Like I said, I'm just really just trying to, like I said, just replace whatever needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
Get the thing on the road, make sure it's running good, kind of finish the dash, interior, all that stuff. And actually, what I want to do is I want to take out this center console.
Okay.
I don't like it. I just don't. It doesn't serve a purpose. It's just a big hump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't put nothing in it. You can't put any drinks there. You can't. So, because I've seen guys like put like newer style, like center consoles in there. I don't know where from. I was just gonna go to the yard and just look and see. Maybe do something kind of like a little newer, something doors open, like
I should look up in my rafters. I scored a console out of like an S10 or something years ago. Same kind of thing, because I thought,
Oh, really?
this might work in a project one day, and
Yeah.
I never used it.
Okay.
But I'll look and give you some measurements, send you a picture of something you think you could
Oh,
use.
yeah.
You can come grab it, have
Yeah.
it, chop it up, you go junk,
Yeah.
toss it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that'd be
that
cool.
might be something that'll work better for you. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. The thing's big, it's bulky, and these have beautiful floors.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I like mine. I got a bench in mine, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe cutting it like down here, and like just saving extra material, but like cutting it down further, and then just rewrapping it with the extra material, and just leave that there.
yeah.
And then put just a newer style,
Solid.
like high-rise console there that has maybe some cup holders, armrest, like open it up, storage, and then I can build in, a USB or whatever, charging ports, something like that. I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't really do anything. It's just a hump,
Yeah.
And like, even if I wanted to put cup holders in there, like, I don't know, that's a weird dip right there, so they wouldn't sit flush.
It's almost like if you cut it across right there and just gave yourself a nice flat area.
Yeah,
That had more cup holders, like you're saying. And
yeah, so I think it'd be nice.
Yeah.
And I think these seats are power too, so I'm gonna try to hook those up for her, because right now, like, I might even try to raise them up, because she's like, kind of looking over, when she's in it. So I might, I'll see how high the seat raises, maybe, because I think they're power, so we'll see. But still a little work ahead. I don't really know how much she'll be driving it this year though, because she's like, I don't know how much I'll drive it. Just she's about to have a baby, and she's like, you're probably gonna be driving it more than me. Yeah, though. I mean, when I was researching, like, I've seen ones that are way worse.
Oh yeah, and mine too. Mine wasn't as bad, but I did some welding and fixed up some nonsense on it. And
Okay.
I'm super jealous you have this already. If I change out to a redhead steering gear,
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I mean, it's only $60.
setups. Yeah. And did you see the video of that cat that he put one in his truck?
Yeah.
He does all the welds on that.
Oh yeah.
I started following him last night. I'm like,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's the truth right there.
So that brake line's in the way, so you won't
Yeah.
get it
Yep. So we'll pop this off. Basically, what we're talking back there.
flush, but
So now
I think it goes the other way.
like
Yeah,
this
just like
inside.
that. Yep.
Okay, so this goes inside the rail.
No, it goes right there.
It goes over those. Like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
So it's just this in the way, so you can't.
Oh, that's right.
really
Yeah.
tell.
I kind of remember him. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So-
then these, I think.
Those holes line up, so
So like these holes, you just weld those solid.
yeah, that's what they were doing. Yep. And then they used the existing holes to hold it in place with the clamps.
Okay, so this one right here is for the brake line.
Right.
Then those existing, weld, fill it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
You would think it would go the other way because of the dip,
Yeah,
right?
right?
Yep. But I kept looking at videos, and then I was holding it up. I was like, no, shit, it goes this way.
Yeah, we're just looking at it backwards because
Yeah.
this is concave to go inside.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, that
Exactly.
makes sense.
And then I don't know. Somehow this is supposed to brace it from underneath.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that because it lines up with, there's a tab right there.
And then like that piece also welds to the cross member. They were saying, right?
It just goes.
Yeah.
That's weird because your tabs. Crack. It's almost like, man, I wonder if you just cut them out.
So same wheel, you just got to stop the crack.
You got to stop the crack.
So what about like, see though how those cracks, some of them are kind of like protruding out. Do you have to like,
Yeah, so
beat
that's
those
why I'm
in,
almost
or-
wondering if we just cut it out. But, because see, like this piece, I feel like we should just cut it. Cut it across and cut it across. Because we're going to have the new holes anyway, but then we need to put some washers inside so it's the same thickness. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter because the steering box mounts on the outside.
yeah, that's on the other side, yeah.
And we're
I
gonna
mean,
be
just-
welding it.
just-
This essentially is your new frame.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So should those just be like kind of welded, fixed?
yeah, I'll show it to Tyler. The problem is if we weld them from the outside or the inside, once we weld them, now there's another layer of something.
Gotcha, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think if we grind them or cut them, it stops the cracking, and then we put this on to make the new frame.
Because what I saw one person, or actually a couple of videos, they did, they drilled it to stop the crack, and then they grinded the cracks down. So there's almost kind of like a valley. Then they welded them and then grinded them down so they were smooth.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, we could do that same kind of thing.
But I didn't know, because I didn't see anybody's that was like this. Like
That's pretty bad.
That's sticking out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And
I mean, I don't know.
once again, essentially, this is the new frame.
Yeah.
So once we get rid of this,
Okay.
get cleaned up, but
I mean, just whatever is easiest, but still structurally sound.
yeah,
Right.
I don't think it's going to be an issue just having this on there. I think that's going to be amazing. It's just, it's crazy how
It's
bad
so
those
weird.
cracked.
Yeah.
Crazy how bad those cracked.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder, like, dang, where was this? Where was this truck at? Who was driving it? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah.
so here's another thought we could do. We could, if you clean up the inside of the frame behind, especially this hole and this hole, clean up behind that. Then what we can do is we can drill it and stop these cracks. And then we can run a bead on the inside and the outside. And then grind them down. So that way this sits flush. And on the backside, as long as we're not interfering with where we're going to stick a nut when that bolt goes through.
Yeah.
It'll make a little bit more work, but not a whole hell of a lot. So,
Yeah, and then
here.
that piece was the last one.
what?
You see that?
So the shock
Did
used to go through
I
right
show
there.
you that?
Not that I recall. Yeah.
Yeah, so the shock, obviously went through there, but obviously it broke, so they just welded a bolt or something right to the frame.
Man,
So that was like another deal I was going to ask you about.
how's the other side?
Perfect.
That's so weird, bro.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
weird. I mean, when you took it out, did it seem like it had any stress?
No.
It seemed fine.
I mean, it was fine. Like it, I mean, it didn't ride bad or anything. It just looks
Looks
Weird.
weird. Yeah, because like on mine, I had to do some stuff, but I didn't do nothing like that. That's weird. Oh goodness. We could put a washer on there and basically do the same thing, but it would look a lot cleaner.
yeah.
You know, we could put a washer right here to fill that gap, weld around it,
Yep.
and then stick a new bolt just like this coming through,
Yeah.
and then weld the base of the bolt to it.
Yep.
I mean, that's a total possibility.
Okay. Anyways, let me flip this camera around, show you guys what's up. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely think about subscribing, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff, y'all. I am getting my wife's K5, 73 K5 back on the road. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. If you check my previous videos, you will know all that stuff where you can see the frame right now was all black. I mean, it was not black like that, but I mean like grease black. Super, super built up everywhere. So this is far better than what it was. Even on here, all that orange that you see, it was all black. All black. So what I'm thinking about doing is actually just painting, kind of like spot painting the front end here. I'm not trying to make this thing look nice, you guys. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit more presentable. So you guys know me, when I build my vehicles, paint and all that stuff, y'all, it's nice. So, but this, I don't know where we're gonna go with it, and I am not exactly sure if we're gonna do like an engine swap sometime down the road. Probably more than likely, this engine bay is probably going to be somewhat nicer than what it is. But for right now, I just don't have the time to do it. I highly doubt that this engine will be in here for the long haul. Maybe it will, I don't know. But I'm just trying to get it just back on the road, looking presentable, so that way I can pop my hood and have everything not look, all like that, because I'm going to clean all that too. So the plan of attack is to be able to kind of put the suspension back on, the wheels and everything when I get to that point, wheel it out of here, again, do a final degreasing, pressure wash it, because I'll need my pressure washer, so that'll be good. That'll help take a lot of this grime off as well, and then be able to do kind of like a final cleanup and paint on it. So my plan is just to get this intake just to look a little bit nicer. And also here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my, I have some leftover Chevy orange Duplicolor spray paint, and I'm just going to kind of spot check it. everywhere. So pretty much I'll do like a light coat kind of everywhere, see what it looks like, and just kind of just keep going from there. So that way this looks a little bit more presentable and it's not so, you know, so harsh looking. It actually doesn't look horrible, and a lot of this stuff is going to be covered up anyway, but you know, that way it just looks a little bit better. I'm not going to do anything to the sides. As you can see, that on the sides is actually pretty intact as far as the paint goes. When I was washing it, I was able to kind of develop a way where I can clean it and wash it, not leave the chemicals on too long, and kind of, you know, put the oven cleaner on there, let it sit, scrub it, and then just spray it off with water. Because what I was doing before up front here was spraying it off with brake clean, and I was just killing the paint, which is understandable. I knew I was going to do that anyway, but I was able to kind of go with a different method for the sides of the engine, and it actually worked a lot better. So anyways, y'all, that's kind of the plan of attack. And then again, once I get that all degreased and everything and power washed and get all the loose kind of dirt and all that stuff off, then I'll go over all the frame and everything with my Summit Racing chassis enamel. Here, let me show you guys what that looks like. All right, you guys, so here you go. It looks like this. So it comes in flat black, I think semi-gloss, and then gloss black. So I use this. I've been using it for a really long time. It covers really well. It sticks to bare metal and frames really well. My plan of attack with that is going to be, because I got to be able to wheel this vehicle out of here, so again, I can pressure wash this whole engine bay again. So what I'm probably going to do is just paint this section right here. Okay, this is where the A-arms mount and the coils go underneath and stuff like that. So I'm gonna paint that section first and kind of get everything covered around it, so that way I can actually put the suspension on, and then I can mount the wheels on and everything, and then just wheel it out of here. So that would be a major plus, because then I can go ahead and kind of finish painting and everything, you know, sometime later on. So that way we're good to go. So I think that'll be a good plan. I really didn't know how I was going to do this, but again, since I'm not really looking for perfection, it's just going to be pretty much kind of like a cover-up job for now. But you know, I do want things to kind of still look good and be installed correctly. So that's kind of my plan of attack for all this. So I think that's the easiest way that I can do it. Again, just spray paint this section and then put in the suspension. That way I can wheel it out of here, and then maybe even put it on a jack stands and paint it outside, but it's been so damn cold here. The plan of attack today, again, is to kind of just get all this stuff off, you know, the brake lines and everything off, make sure no brake lines are attached. The crazy thing is, and I'm sure I'll find something else new, you guys. Oh yeah, I gotta show you this. This is interesting right here on this rear end. But first off, on the master cylinder, when I actually drained out all the fluid in the master cylinder, there was zero fluid in the rear reservoir. Zero, like none. It was all in the front. So when I've been driving this truck, and I didn't really drive very far, but I took a test drive in it and, you know, just drive it around the neighborhood and things like that. It was only brake fluid in the front, which means it only had brakes in the front. So that was kind of odd. So I got to investigate that. Either they just didn't put some in, which I don't doubt, or there's some sort of leak or something back here or along at some point on the brake line. So I'm gonna have to figure all that out as well. For all I know, shoot, this thing might not even be, you know, hooked up. I don't even know, but I'm gonna go ahead and investigate that. I'm gonna take these shocks off. I'm getting all new shocks and everything. So I think we are gonna be good to go, you guys. Also too, let me get my light here. So I found this real interesting, and for you guys that might know anything about K5s, so I had bought a flip kit, and I actually returned it because I bought it in October through Amazon, and you guys know Amazon, typically around the holidays, they give you to the end of January to return stuff. So I really didn't think nothing of it. You know, I just bought a normal flip kit, and I just hadn't opened it yet. So something kept telling me to open it. So I wanted to open it before the return date. So that's what I ended up doing. So I opened it up, and lo and behold, there's parts missing. There was all the main parts were there, but what was missing out of it? The nuts and the washers were missing. So I actually had one nut missing, and like, I think it came with 8 washers, and all 7 of them were missing except for one. So super crazy. So anyways, I messaged them and I was like, you know, I don't really want to return the item. I like it. It was actually, it seemed like good parts. It just was missing, you know, the nut and bolt. So anyways, long story short, I had ended up returning it because of this. When my buddy Matt was over here, we ended up figuring this out. And this is really odd that they did this. It just goes to show you, man, you never know where a vehicle has been in its lifetime and what somebody has done. And there's some interesting things done to this truck for sure. The purpose of a flip kit is to basically allow this axle, the axle tube, to sit on top of the leaves instead of the bottom. So what that does is that raises the whole axle up closer to the vehicle, and which means your wheels will go with it, but that would in turn help to lower the stance of the car. So that's the whole idea of a flip kit. Well, the kit comes with basically a set of blocks that kind of looks like this. So that way, this portion right here can be resting on top of this. So you would mount it on the bottom. So you would mount that piece on the bottom. It has like little legs that kind of go up in there, right there. And that's what supports it. And then this right here, I'm going to get to that in a second, would actually sit on top of here. Well, typically this is not here. And you can see how somebody welded that in. So they took either a part from another rear end, or maybe even something from a flip kit, cut it down and installed it. I really don't know. But that technically is not supposed to be there. My buddy Matt was like, yo, that's weird. He's like, that's cool. He's like, but it's weird that that's there. And it has the hole. So there's a hole right there. And that hole is to allow the nut and the bolt that's actually holding these leaves together. There's a nut there that sits inside of that access hole for clearance, basically. So that's there as well too, man. So I don't know. That's kind of crazy to me, which is good. That'll save me money. So I went ahead and returned it anyway, since it was missing parts. And it looks like I'm not going to need it, because all I would have to do now is just unbolt these, take off that plate, take off the U-bolts. And again, that's why I'm making sure I'm taking off all this first. And all I would have to do is just put this axle on top of that and then flip this underneath. And shoot, we should be good. That in theory, you know, we should be good. So I don't know. We shall see, you guys. We shall see. So anyways, that's where we're at on this. Go to the other side real quick, and then I'll chime back in here in a little bit. All right, y'all, so I got the rear end down, and it is down safely without a little bit of a struggle. I have these on these little Harbor Freight moving rollers. So what I'm gonna do at some point when I get time is actually roll it out of here. And I don't have much room, because I have a plan that I'm going to do to kind of mock up the wheels that I'm going with. So we'll see. Hopefully I won't have any trouble with them fitting. Actually, I should probably measure this up here just to make sure there is no issues at all. So I hope that I don't, but we shall see. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get inside here real quick, and then do this class, and then I'll chime back in here in a little while. If you guys don't see me and I end the video here, that's because I didn't have anything else to film, and so just wait till the next video, all right? So if this is it, deuces, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Either I'll see you on the next clip, or I see you in the next video. All right.